In the human population, there is around 8 billion people on Earth, and of that 8 billion, 1 billion have seen Star Wars. You would think that this means everyone knows the basic concepts of Star Wars, you would think. But despite me loving Star Wars as much as I love everything good in life, my mother knows very little about it. And since we just hit 1,000 subscribers, I, alongside my mom, thought it'd be a great idea if I were to answer all of her questions about Star Wars in this new series I'm creating called Ask a Nerd. More on that later. So with me here is my mother.
Hello, nerd.
And she'll be asking me all of her questions. I gotta say, you really disappoint me on how little you know about Star Wars. I mean, I literally have a channel dedicated to Star Wars.
Okay, so here's the thing. I've seen all the movies. I just don't really understand what's going on, and I'm more concerned with Ewoks and the pretty jungle.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory if you just pay attention to it. You don't need to see the shows or anything. Just self-explain it.
Well, it is a little embarrassing that I do have a son with a channel totally dedicated to it, and I still don't know a lot.
I spent a lot of time working on this, Mother, so... I mean, you could just spend some time watching some of my videos.
I do.
Oh, okay. Alright, let's get to the questions. What's your first one?
Okay, so this may seem basic to you, but I'm always so confused. Let me get this straight. Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Yes.
Okay, and Anakin is who?
Anakin is Darth Vader and is Luke Skywalker's father. Anakin was turned into Vader when he turned to the dark side. Darth Vader is his Sith name. That is a name given to him by his new master, Palpatine, when he turned to the dark side. So yes, they are technically both his father. Darth Vader is the evil version of Anakin, and Anakin is the good version of him.
And Luke and Leia are brother and sister.
Yes, they are.
But they dated.
Okay, this is a kind of controversial thing among fans. Some people pretend this never happened, but they did not date, they kissed. Equally as weird. I know. Equally as weird. I wish it never happened. I don't know what George was thinking. So, but at the time of the creation of Empire Strikes Back, no one knew they were brother or sister. Not even the actors like Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher knew they were brother and sister. So at the time, they were just thought of like lovers. But then it was revealed in Return of the Jedi that they were brother and sister, and it made it super weird.
Still not okay.
Definitely not. It was incredibly awkward.
Okay, next question. Where is Earth in this story?
Good question. This is a galaxy far, far away, so technically speaking, Earth isn't in the main galaxy, but that's not saying it doesn't exist. There was a Star Wars What If comic book that did dive into this sort of situation, where Han Solo and Chewbacca did crash land on Earth. Han Solo died, and Chewbacca was later turned into Bigfoot, called by the humans. So technically speaking, Earth does exist in a way, but not really. But then again, with this new galaxy being introduced, who knows? Maybe it will show up.
Okay, I'm tracking with you.
All right, good.
I have questions about Darth Vader.
All right.
What do the buttons on his chest do?
All right, the buttons on his chest, those are his life support systems. They help him breathe, survive, and all that stuff. He can turn them off, but for very brief moments in time. Like in the hallway scene with Rogue One, where he just slaughtered all those troopers. His life support was off, which made it all the cooler. But yeah, they're mainly just there to keep him alive after he was burnt medium rare on Mustafar when Obi-Wan defeated him.
Okay. Why does he have the voice changer? That feels a little dramatic.
It's kind of like his life support system. He needs it so he can, like, speak, but it's also to make him sound a lot more intimidating. It was all done by Palpatine, so he could just sound more intimidating and keep the Imperial troopers in line. It was also done just because it was awesome.
Well, since you brought him up, I'm going to skip ahead in questions and ask, who is Palpatine?
Okay. Well, before I answer this question, I need to know, do you know what the Sith are?
Yeah.
Okay, what is a Sith?
Maybe you should tell me just in case.
Okay, that's what I thought. A Sith is the opposite of a Jedi. There is Jedi and the Sith. The Sith are evil, the Jedi are good. Some Sith were Jedi but turned to the dark side. The Sith turned to the dark side because they want more power or they're trying to save someone they love, which is against the Jedi code. But Palpatine, he was not a Jedi. He was just trained by his Sith master from basically since he was a child. So Palpatine, to get onto your other question, was the person who created and orchestrated all of the Clone Wars. He's the reason the Jedi were wiped out in the galaxy. He's the reason Anakin turned to the dark side. So basically, Palpatine is the reason everything in the Star Wars galaxy happened. He's the reason the Empire rose and the Republic fell. He was like the mastermind behind everything. If there was something going on in the Clone Wars, he knew about it. It doesn't matter what side it was on, he knew. He basically was pulling the strings the whole time, and the Jedi had no clue about it.
Okay, but what happened to his face?
Oh, his face, that's a good question. So after the Jedi Council, Mace Windu, Aegon Kolar, Saesee Tiin, and Kit Fisto, I don't think you know about them, and that's fine. But they confronted him because they found out he was a Sith Lord, so they fought him. And Palpatine was shooting Force lightning at Mace Windu, who was deflecting it back on him, which caused his face to get all deformed and all that stuff. Although some people think that's his true face, although it is not confirmed. It was confirmed, though, that the lightning did disfigure his face.
Okay. I'm tracking a little bit.
All right, good.
Back to my very most important favorite question.
All right.
Do other Yodas exist and other Chewbacca's? Like, is every weird creature one of many?
To some, yes, and to others, no. Like, Yoda species, yes, we know very few members of them. There is 7 members that we do know of, which I did make a video about, so if you were to check that out, you would know a little more about this. We know next to nothing about Yoda species. We don't know where they're from. We don't know the name of their species. We really know nothing about them. All we know is they live for a very long time.
Is he a father?
We don't know.
Is Baby Yoda his baby?
We don't know. There's speculation, but it's unconfirmed. And for your question about the other Chewbacca's, yes, his species is called the Wookiees. There are millions of them in the galaxy, if not billions. So they're not one of a kind, but they are sort of rare in the galaxy. And when you said every weird creature is one of many, no, but sometimes yes. There are some creatures who are more rare in the galaxy, but most of the time creatures can be found everywhere.
Now to my other former favorite creature, the Ewoks. I love them, but I heard they're bad. Is that true?
They are evil creatures. They haunt my nightmares.
They're so cute.
They will. You've seen Return of the Jedi, right?
Yes.
You've noticed at the end of the movie there was just stormtrooper helmets. What happened to the stormtroopers?
I don't know.
Let's just say
they scared them away.
No, those Ewoks had a full belly that night. Yeah, those Ewoks. There's a game, Battlefront, where there's a mode called like Ewok Hunt or something like that, where you're stormtroopers, and that game mode by itself gave me nightmares for years. It still does haunt me, but the Ewoks, they hunt the stormtroopers down and eat them. They're evil creatures.
So they're not little teddy bears.
No. There once was this Ewok who was a Jedi trained by Luke Skywalker, but he turned to the dark side. So I don't know really what that says, but if I had to guess, I guess that means that they are evil. But I mean, you can still believe that they're good, but they're not. They're evil creatures.
That's so disappointing.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so this is my last question. The movies were released, they're released out of order, right?
Yes.
Okay, what was the order? Why did they even do that?
Well, it's mostly because when the first Star Wars movie released, George Lucas, the creator, he didn't know it'd be so successful. So he planned on just like, once that's done, it'd flop, and he'd actually post Indiana Jones, which actually was the reason Indiana Jones exists, because he thought Star Wars would flop. So then once he found out Star Wars did amazing, he decided to do a sequel, The Empire Strikes Back, which performed even better and got better reviews. And then he made another one, and those were called 4, 5, and 6. Because he decided that this was going to be the conclusion of a story, not the beginning. Because he mentioned a lot of stuff in the first 3 movies, like the Clone Wars, Anakin Skywalker, all that stuff. So the first 3 movies, like movies 1, 2, and 3, were meant to explain all of that. But movies 6, 7, and 8, we don't like them. They were mostly created just so Disney can like reintroduce Star Wars to the new generation. And it sort of worked. They weren't the original idea of George Lucas. But in short, they were released that way because George Lucas didn't have plans for all of them and was shocked by how much success they got.
I have actually another question, even though I said.
Yeah, that's fine. Ask away.
Can you tell me all the movies in order?
Yes, I can. There's The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, The Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. The last 3 movies, I don't count them as canon, but you can. The first 6 movies you need to watch, Mom. I guess we're going to have to rewatch them all.
Rewatch, because I've already seen them, but I guess I'll have to pay attention.
Yep, and who knows, maybe we'll have to watch all the shows again, too. Because I don't think you've seen them.
Well, I live with the most famous nerd of all, so...
Okay, I wouldn't say the most.
all I have to do is ask.
Yeah, alright. Thank you, Mom, for joining me on this Ask a Nerd episode. I hope I answered most of your questions.
You sure did. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to leave your questions in the comments for future Ask a Nerd episodes. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. And with that, my fellow Star Wars nerds, may the Force be with you.
Bye.